Hello, my name is Dominik Majewski, and these are my 3 ideas. So, for my first episode, the name of the episode for my first idea was, Why Should We Sleep? So, from my general format, I have my sponsor message right here, my intro music, my intro, and so my sponsor message, my intro music, and my intro, along with my other sponsor message and my outro music. These things will be the same for all 3 of my podcast ideas, and they'll be the same for my whole group. And then everything that changes is my topics and my segues. And of course, my outros, closing remarks, and recaps. So, for my first episode, I was planning on doing an episode about sleep. So for our first topic, we're going to talk about the importance of sleep and why it is needed. Then we're going to talk about how it lets you focus. Talk about how when you are a teenager, you have a developing brain and you need the most amount of sleep possible so you can fully develop. Say how lack of sleep can cause depression and general irritativeness. Then our segue to that is going to be next to the next bit. So for our second topic, we will talk about how sleep is important for your physical body. And there we can talk about how not getting enough sleep will cause obesity and other eating disorders. And how you need sleep to let your brain rejuvenate so that you can control your body so that you're ready to control your body for the next day. Then our segue to that will be alright, and on to our last section. So then after that is going to be our sponsor message, and our third topic is we're going to talk about healthy sleeping patterns. So we're going to talk about why you need to stay on a healthy sleeping pattern, and then we're going to talk about how you can improve your sleeping pattern and your sleeping schedule in general. And then for our closing remark, I'm going to say, and that's all we have on sleep for today's episode of the Laughing Gas Podcast, brought to you by IED. IED stands for Ian, Ethan, and Dominic. And then we have our outro and outro music. So then for my second episode, I decided to do the episode on video games and the internet. So again, the sponsor message, the intro music, and the intro are all the same. And then so the things that change are the segues and the topics. So here we're going to talk about teenagers and how video games and media affect their development. So we can talk about we want to talk about how that you should always do everything in moderation that involves video games and social media platforms. And we're also going to talk about how social media is not always the most healthy thing for teenagers, and you should have control when using it. Then our segue is going to be onto our next topic, on to our second topic. So for our second topic, we want to talk about cyberbullying, since that's an important issue in the online community. And so there we want to talk about the importance of understanding and recognizing cyberbullying. Then we want to talk about taking a step back from social media from time to time, and talking about how we shouldn't let social media control our lives. And then our segue from that will be onto our last topic, right here. And so our last topic, will be about the importance of going outside. So we're going to talk about how it's important sometimes to go outside and just breathe some fresh air. Talk about how breaks from electronics are needed to keep a clear head. Then our closing remarks will say, and that's all we have on video games and social media for today's episode on the Laughing Gas Podcast, brought to you by IED. And then for my third and final episode, it's called Exercise with 3 exclamation marks. And for this episode, again, we have the same sponsor message, intro music, and intro. And then for our first topic, we're going to talk about why you need exercise if you're a teenager. So we're going to talk about the health benefits of exercising. We're going to talk about different exercises that you can do if you're a teenager, and we're going to talk about the different areas of the body that you can work out. Then our segue is going to be onto our second topic. For our second topic, we're going to talk about the importance of going outside. We're going to talk about going on walks and jogs and getting up your heart rate, and we're going to talk about breathing fresh air and how breathing fresh air can help lighten your mood. Then we're going to talk about the importance of getting vitamin D from the sun. So you can get your vitamins. Then we're going to segue, and then our segue is going to be onto our last topic, which is going to be topic number 3, the importance of sports. So here we're going to, of course, talk about how sports are important. We're going to talk about how they put you out of your comfort zone, how they teach you discipline and teamwork, and how sports are needed at people at a young age. Then our closing remark is going to be, and that's all we have on exercise for today's episode on the Laughing Gas podcast, brought to you by IED. So these are my 3 podcast episode ideas that I made. Thank you for listening.